I'm a rock star, I'm a raised like rail. I ain't taking L's in Madden all year.
Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's Rage Rail. So in today's video, I kind of want to take a deep dive into how exactly Cover 4 Palms works in Madden 21. So if you enjoyed this video, go and drop a like on the video right now. Go ahead and sub and turn on post notifications on. So before I do get into it, I do want to say, just as a disclaimer, I'm mentioning exactly how Cover 4 Palms works. Now, I'm not telling you who to use or how to run Cover 4 Palms. I'm not telling you how to do any of that. I just simply want you to understand, you know, how Cover 4 Palms works, and when you see how it works, you can decide on how you want to use it or how you want to alter the defense to, you know, create a pretty unstoppable defense. So that's the point of this video. I just needed to make sure I said that, because I know one of my last videos I did on Cover 4 Quarters, I had somebody ask me, well, where do I use her? And I wanted to make sure that I did touch on that. So let's go ahead and dive right into this. So I'm just going to kind of go over, just use strip tight end as example formation. And I'm gonna come out in just something like PA slot corner, just an example play. And we're gonna go, well, first I do want to show you that I don't have zone drops on or any of that stuff. Everything's set on default. So let's go into formation, let's go over big nickel, and then let's go to Cover 4 Palms. Because a lot of people don't know how, a lot of people know, oh, match cover is overrated, or you have people that think match cover is so busted, you know. But if you actually understand, you know, the rules Madden has with match coverage, then it's going to help you become a better Madden player. Now, keep in mind, it isn't perfectly how it works in real life. Like if somebody was to call like a Cover 4 Palms style, they wouldn't call it Cover 4 Palms, they'd probably say palms or quarters. You know, if they call these type of defenses, it's a lot more specific with the rules. I'm just giving you kind of the general Madden rules that they use in their little algorithm on how they want coverage to work. But anyways, let's go and dive into this. So this right here is the play. Now, what I want you to pay attention to is who matches on to what, and that's what I'm really gonna focus on. So right now, let's actually just block our running back, and I want you just to pay attention to who matches where, and I'm gonna go into replay and break down who matches what and why they match the way they do. So kind of get that in your head right now as to what you just saw, and I'm gonna go into deep detail about this right now, and I'm gonna do, based at the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how Cover 4 Palms works to a T. So right here, his job is man coverage on #1 receiver. So this corner right here, this is considered the #1 receiver. So how you count receivers, you start from the sideline, and you go, you count inward. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and then you will start right here. This is 1, this is 2. Now it's really important for you to understand that, and because when I'm about to explain to you, I'm going to say #1 receiver, I'm going to say #2, and that's how I kind of mean it. So cornerback is going to be man matched to #1 receiver no matter what he does. You heard me right. No matter what he does, he's man on him. So you might as well just say that that's his man. It's man coverage, because no matter what he does, he's going to go with him. That's why even on the drag, he goes with the drag. Now #2 receiver. Well, the slot cornerback right here, he's manned on #2 receiver on just about everything other than a hitch. So for some reason on the hitches, he actually do not man coverage, and I'll show you that here in a second. But anything else, he's going to man match that. As you can tell right there, he's running with that. Now, this safety up top right here, this is where I'm going to show you guys, it all depends. So if this receiver does anything over 5 yards, he's going to man match it. And since this is actually a 3-rec, and this is so 3-rec means that he kind of plays man, not all the way man, but it depends on what the route is. Depends on if he's going to actually stay true to that, man. I'll show you that here in a second. But this is actually his receiver, so that's why he kind of does shuffle a little bit. But the way it's programmed is for him not to follow him the whole way. It's only programmed for him to follow him halfway and then come back to the middle of the field, just like he does right here. That's how it's programmed. And now on this right side, what we have, this cornerback right here is going to be man to the first receiver, and the first receiver is the tight end right here. So that's why as soon as he releases his route, he's going to guard him. Now the quarter flat, if there's no flat route, then he's actually going to match on #1 receiver, which is what I found that he actually does. So if there's nobody out there, see how the running back's blocking, so this is the only receiver out here, so he's actually going to turn around and man match, as you can tell right there. So again, now I kind of want to go into a little deeper dive, right? So let me kind of just prove to you guys. So let's say we put square on a hitch, right? So watch how the cornerback is going to just man match that. So you see how he goes with the hitch. Watch how I try to playmaker him. You see how he turns and runs with him, because that's his man right there. And so that's how you know he is man matched. Now I want you guys to watch something real interesting. So even if I take square, put him on a streak, so we know what? We know that corner's going to run with him. If I take triangle, put him on a flat route, watch what happens. So you would think that he might not go out there and cover him, but look at this. he actually does man match him. So let me try to playmaker. I mean, you can tell he's running with him. That's his man because he's man matched. So it doesn't matter if it's below 5 yards. Whatever he runs, he's going to be right there. Now, the only thing that actually he does not man match is going to be this hitch right here. Now, I want you to pay attention to his zone. That is, there's a quarter flat out there. So he's manning up the number 2 receiver. So let's say we take square, put him on a streak, right? So watch kind of what he does right here. So on the hitch, for whatever reason, he actually doesn't guard it, like play man on it. Oh, actually, well, yeah, you can tell he doesn't because he's facing a quarterback. Anytime they're facing a quarterback, that means it's zone cover. So on everything other than a hitch, he's going to play man on that route. So again, let's take a look at down the number 3 receiver. So just like I told you, if I take circle and I put him on an in route and our smart route is in route, then since it's past 5 yards, this safety up top right here, he's going to man match. And since this is a 3rd receiver, this 3 rec is actually going to man match that too as well. So let me go ahead and show you that. So watch how he kind of follows him inside. You see circle's going to run, I mean, the safety's going to run him all the way. But the way the 3 rec plays, he's just going to man match him to a certain point and he's going to stop, you know. Now, let me show you that again, but a different route concept. So now let's say we take him, put him on a curl, right? So you see how it's deeper than 5 yards. So what's going to happen? We can expect the safety to be able to play him, right? So let me actually block my running back real quick. And I just want you guys to pay attention. So let's say you see how circle's going to, well, I keep saying circle. You see how the safety and that 3 rec is sitting right there. They're both covering them because they're both technically responsible for the 3 receivers. So now let's take a look at this right side. So let's say in hindsight, I wanted to run a concept like, let's see, what do I want to do? Okay, let's say, actually I want to prove to you first about this cornerback out here, man matching to the number 1 receiver. So since the tight end right here is the number 1 receiver, let's say I put him on an out route and smart route is out route, right? So let's change up his route. Let's say I want to put the running back on a swing route, right? So watch the cornerback out there. So watch how he turns and actually runs with him. You see how he runs with him? That's his man. He's following him. Now, that's even true if I put him on something like a in route, right? Let's say I put him on an in route and I had a concept that looked like this, right? So remember, we're talking about the cornerback, and I want you to understand that they man match the number 1 receiver. So watch the tight end, watch how he turns and runs with them, right? So you see how that's man matched. No matter what route he runs, he's going to match onto him. So you just have to understand that on defense. So if we take X and put him on a drag, right? And then maybe streak our receiver. So let's say somebody wanted to run a concept like this. Now, the cornerback, even if he's on the drag, watch what he does. Watch how he's going to turn and actually run with him. Actually, that time, like, the safety switched, I think. Actually, let's go back and look at that. Now, it does get man matched, but I think on a drag route, I think the safety, I think they swapped, actually. So I really want to see that because actually threw me for a loop right there. So I want to say this was the cornerback. Yeah, so you notice how they swap positions. So this is something that you can note, too. So if the number 1 receiver on the short side of the field right here goes on a drag, then they're actually going to swap. So you see right here the safety, he's actually going to go play that for, I don't know why they swap, but that's the way it works. And now he's going to replace him and play his quarter of the field. So you see how he didn't run with that. You know how cover 4, how they have just this section right here, because you have this section, this section. So let's start with, you have this section, this section, this section, and this section, right? If you can picture that like a cover 4 drop style, right? So in the cover 4 palms, they actually switch. So if number 1 goes on a drag, the number 2 safety right here, well, the safety up top is actually going to rotate, which is pretty cool. So that's something that you can notate too. And the reason I'm telling you this, because let's say you didn't like that, right? If you didn't like that happening, then what? All you have to do is probably just use this guy, right? And then just not follow the drag route, of course, and then you can cover something. So that's kind of like why I'm showing you these things, so you can start having these ideas in your head on how to become a better Madden player. So again, let's say we put him on a small out route, right? So now what do you expect to happen? Now the cornerback should go out there and a quarter flat, which yeah, he man matched, but I thought the quarter flat was gonna go out there, but the quarter flat just kind of sat and chilled in the middle. I don't really like talking about quarter flats because they kind of change. But last thing I do actually want to talk about is, what if they motion somebody, which is probably what you're thinking, because people motion the trips tight end all the time. And keep in mind, this is not a how to defend trips tight end video. I'm just kind of using this as just an example so you can understand how the, you know, how the coverages work. So now let's say I wanted to take, I don't know, this guy right here and just motion him over, right? Let's say we just put him on a streak, and then let's say we took the tight end, put him on a drag, and then we ran a concept like this. Now, if you pay attention, what did we just create? So we have what? We have 1 receiver right here. We have our number 2 receiver, and we have our number 3, right? So if we know cover 4 palms match rules, what? He's going to man up number 1. If number 2 does more than 5 yards, he's going to man up on him. And we have the same thing that happens on this side. So he's going to man up number 1. He's he's gonna man up number 2 now, and that's the way that it works. And now the quarter flats, like I said, those are a little bit more confusing. because it changes with different route concepts. So that's why I try to focus on just the actual defensive backs, because that's going to be the backbone of your defense. So again, you can kind of watch here what's going to happen, right? So you see how they match, he's going to match, he's going to match, and everybody matched exactly how we said that it was going to happen. So again, I'm going to replay real quick, and I'm going to kind of just show you like a different variation, not a different variation, but I'm going to show you how to kind of tell what's going to happen basically. So he's going to man up him because that's his assignment. He's man match number 1. Now a quarter flat right here, see, he has nothing to guard right here, so he was going to guard number 1, but that's when I guess the AI picked up that there's actually a flat out in his area, so that's why he came back down off of that. Now I want you to watch the 3-rec clip, because normally this is the third receiver, right? So when he goes out, that's why he went out too. So you can tell he went out at the same exact time. So watch the linebacker and watch the running back. See how they both go out? But the way they're programmed the 3-recs is that they have to respect the drags for whatever reason. Like, they are really toned onto drags. So that's why he started to go there, came back, and then actually sat in the middle. So that's just the way how the kind of 3-recs work. Now we got that out the way. Now let's look at this quarter flat. So like I said, quarter flats are kind of a little confusing. You see how he kind of just played this area, they came back down in the flats. That's kind of why I don't like talking about them, because you know, they kind of almost play like seam flats. They almost feel like seam flats to me. But what I wanted you to pay attention to is exactly what we said. So he's going to man up number 1 no matter what, and he is actually going to man up number 2 if he goes past 5 yards, which he did. That's why he manned him up. So basically, I'm trying to get you to understand how to run cover 4 palms. So last thing I want to talk about, let's say we motion them across, right? Let's say this time we take X and we put him on an out route, and let's say we smart route his out route, and let's just say, I don't know, we had a concept that looked like this, you know, like I would never run this probably. Right, so let's just take circle, put him on the hitch, right? So let's say, I don't know, somebody wanted to run something like this. So right now, you should be asking yourself, well, who's going to match what? So we know he's going to match the streak. Pulled up the wrong way. He's going to match the streak. He should actually match the tight end right here. Since number 2 actually doesn't go past 5 yards, he's going to play his actual cover 4 assignment to this little half, and he is actually going to man match onto number 1, because he always covers the number 1 receiver. So now you can already picture exactly what's going to happen, and let's see how accurate we are. You see right there exactly how we called it. And so when you start to understand how Madden works, the game becomes much more easier to play. So I'm gonna go into replay really quick and just show you guys, and right there you can tell, like, we just broke down exactly where people was going to go and what was going to happen before the play even snapped. Why? Because we understand the rules of match coverage. He matched with number 1. We know that if he goes past 5 yards, he's going to match with number 2 right here. And in a quarter flat, he's going to come out here anyways and come back and guard this because he has somebody in this area. Now, if nobody came out in this area, then what? He would man match on number 1. But since there's a number 2 receiver, he's going to kind of play like a seam flat type of coverage. Now, on this side, what? We know that this cornerback is always going to man match number 1. Always going to run with him. And then now we know that since number 2 didn't go past 5 yards, that's why he's going to back up and play his area of the field. And then this quarter flat right here, like I said, they're kind of hard to play, but he's just going to kind of sink on that because that's what he's supposed to do. And the 3-rec right here, let's take a look at the 3-rec. You see how this is the 3rd receiver. He shoots out there. But like I said, they're not designed to man coverage on the 3rd receiver. They're just designed to kind of flash. It all depends on what they run. So that's why he goes out there, he comes back, and he's going to settle up in the middle and settle up right on that hitch. So exactly everything how he called it. So how is this important to me, bro? So this is important because it lets you know where you want to use her and what you actually need to do for your assignment. So what do I mean by that? Let's say you want to use her this 3-rec. So you should know that nobody's actually probably going to be out here for a split second. So you can actually fly out there if you want to, and you'll be okay in the middle. Why? Because we understand that if number 2 sits on the hitch, well, I know my hitch, I know he's going to, so this is what you should look at it, right? So if I'm looking at this, I see a hitch, right? I'm like, okay, well, I know the quarter flat's going to play that. I see him breaking on the post. Well, I know my corner's running with that. And I know since he's on a hitch, well, he's going to be playing over here. So I'm actually free if I want to. I can go run out here and cover that if I want. Or I can kind of go run with this if I want to. Why? Because I understand my match rules. And that's how you're going to become a better player, when you understand rules of the game. But anyways, that's going to wrap it up for this video. Do let me know if you kind of enjoyed this informative breakdown in these videos. And don't worry, when Madden 22 comes out, these are going to be the type of videos I do as well, to kind of show you how to run different coverages on Madden 22. So just, if you enjoyed this, just drop a like, please, because I truly appreciate it. It truly means a lot to me. But anyways, I hope you have a blessed day. I'm Rage Real, and I'm out.